welcome to another Ryan Sports Views. Tonight I'm reviewing Mexico 1, El Salvador 0 in Group 3. Not Group 3, Game 3 of Group A of the 2021 CONCACAF Gold Cup. Mexico finishes top, El Salvador finishes second. They go to the quarterfinals. Of course, Trinidad and Tobago and Guatemala finish third and fourth. They are out. We have 4 teams qualified through out of the 8 confirmed, well, 6 and 7. There's only 1 team to fight for a spot, but 4 where we know their spots will be. That'll be the U.S., Canada, Mexico, El Salvador. So, back to the point. In the 25th minute, the goal that won Mexico the first place spot in the group and the game, Luis Rodriguez has the ball, runs in, gets to the side of the defender, takes a shot, ball deflects off the leg, through the legs and off the leg of an El Salvador defender, bounces in to make it 1-0. That's the way it would end. Mexico doesn't need anything else, but there was a while where it looked a little bit touchy there. 16 shots to 11, 6 shots on target to 2, 54% possession to 46% possession, 437 passes to 377 passes, 84% pass accuracy to 81% pass accuracy, 22 fouls to 19, 4 yellow cards to 2, 0 red cards to 0, 1 offside to 1, 4 corners to 3. This game was pretty much exactly what we didn't think it would be. Everybody thought Mexico would wake up and dominate El Salvador. For the first half, they did. They didn't score the goals that looked dominating score line, but they looked dominant in the first half. They could have scored more than 1. Really, the first 60 minutes. But after that, El Salvador had their chances, and they tried to tie this game up, to get first in the group, be on Canada's side of the bracket, and have a good chance of making the final. But Mexico shut it down, not the clean way, not the cleanest way, but they shut the game down. And for me, this game basically boils down to one thing. It's not the way Mexico was playing, because I don't think they were playing down to El Salvador tonight. No. For the most part. I think most of it was the fact they couldn't finish. They created chances, but they couldn't finish tonight. That was basically Mexico's problem. The last 2 games, they were playing down to competition. Now, they did play neck and neck with El Salvador, but they created chances. And if they could have finished, it would have been 3. The only reason El Salvador was in it for so long and had a chance to tie this up was the fact that Mexico couldn't finish. And El Salvador had good chances as well. But I think Mexico was the better team tonight. And it's not exactly the Mexico you expect to see, but it's a lot better than what they were against Trinidad and a lot better than what they were against Guatemala, considering the level of competition. The real Mexico would have blew out Guatemala like 6-0. And the real Mexico would have probably beat that Trinidad team 3 or 4. And the real Mexico would probably beat this El Salvador 3-0. But it is what it is. For me, I don't think they're still not the real Mexico right now. It's not great, but they have positives coming out of tonight. Now, as in positive things, you could look back on the game. Because you know how crazy the last 2 years have been. I had to clarify that. But for me, it's like, okay, they're looking better going into the game against Qatar or Honduras. Could be either of them, depending on what happens on Tuesday, which I will be live and RSR for that on my channel. I'll get into that later. But for me, either way, I don't think Mexico is an outright favorite against Qatar or Honduras. I think it's going to be another close one, depending on what Mexico shows up. If the Mexico that showed up tonight shows up, I think they win close. If the Mexico that showed up in the first 2 games shows up, they lose. If the real Mexico shows up, they will kick Honduras or Qatar's butt, frankly. That's the way we'll leave it. I won't curse there. It depends on what Mexico shows up on Tuesday, really, for me. And it also depends for the semifinals, if they do get through, what Mexico shows up against Canada or Costa Rica / Jamaica, because that would be the winner of Group C. The winner of Group C, which we will find that one out. I will be doing some for that game as well, but as a guest, not on my channel, but you know what I mean. I'll get into that later as well. But for me, I do think the semifinal on the side of the bracket of Mexico and Canada, Canada's going to be there, and I wouldn't be shocked to see Mexico there, depending on what Mexico shows up. But if the bad Mexico shows up, they're not going to be there against Canada. It's going to be Qatar or Honduras. Which, would I hope for that? As a Canada fan, maybe. But do I think this Canada could beat this Mexico right now? Yes, I do. I do. With Steven Eustachio playing, which he should be. He wouldn't be suspended like he was today for idiocy that he committed in the second game. Time wasting, but it was really stupid time wasting. I think they would beat this Mexico. I really do. Eustachio's a difference maker, but that's not the point. We're talking about Mexico, El Salvador here. But the point is this Mexico, you don't know what they are. Can they get back to their old selves? Is this as good as they're going to get? Or are they normally what they were in the first two games? Is that the answer? Can they get back to their dominant selves? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. And I don't know if it's Tata Martino. I don't know if it's the players. I don't know what it is on Mexico that's making them play so far down to what their level normally is. I'm not so sure what it is. But for me, could it be the fact that Mexico is just regressing when everybody's improving? You could say that's possible. You could say that's possible. I think that's been shown recently that Mexico is regressing a little bit. Do I think they're regressing that much to be in this sort of purgatory? No, I don't. But the answer is harder to find, honestly. I don't think that the way this team plays, they should have won by more today. They really should have. 1-0, they should have won by more. This Mexico team befuddles me. Yeah, they're on top like normal. They had to grind their way out of it, which is not normal, but they got to the top of the group in the Gold Cup. That's normal. That's not a moral victory for Mexican fans. That's a, yeah, you did your job. Barely. Go win the damn thing. That's what their expectation is. And I don't know if they're going to win the damn thing, you know? I don't think so. I don't. Honduras / Qatar, depending on what Mexico shows up, they could lose that game. If the good Mexico shows up or the dominant Mexico shows up, they go to the semis. Canada, would I bet on the dominant or good Mexico showing up for more than one game in a row? I don't think so. I don't think they make the final the way Mexico's playing. I don't. I'm okay with Canada being on this side of the bracket. I'd rather play the U.S. in the final than Mexico at this point, really. Even though I think that if Canada played the U.S. with Eustachio, they would have also won because they did deserve to win today. Or draw, but with Eustachio, it would have been different. Again, as I said, if Canada has Eustachio against Mexico, they'd beat Mexico. But that is what it is for me. I honestly think that the final of this Gold Cup is going to end up being U.S.-Canada as it stands. If Jamaica plays the U.S., well, they'll probably lose to the U.S. For me, it's only because they got a bad draw and, well, Tapa is clueless, but we'll get into that. I'm looking at a little bit of a sort of wrap up to the group stage as it is right now. But Mexico befuddles me. They really do at this point. Like, this Mexico is not the Mexico I grew up watching face Canada or the U.S. or any CONCACAF team. No, this ain't the dominant Mexico I remember growing up. And it's kind of sad, honestly, because when you think of Mexico, you think of dominance, at least regionally. They ain't that right now. And even with a A- team, they should be dominant. But I don't think they are. I think they are regressing, and they won today. They won the battle. But will they win the war? Will they win the cup? I don't think so. And I think most Mexican fans deep down have realized this. Like, they have to make some sort of crazy improvement in the knockout stages. And does that happen? I don't know. So, there you go with that. This game befuddled me, honestly. Mexico didn't play down to El Salvador, but this is around the level of the competition they have. They looked better, but they didn't look good enough to sell me. They looked better than the trash Mexico that's been playing. They've done a little bit better. They're making steps, but is it quick enough? I don't know. But for me, that's all I got to say about this match. El Salvador played well, I think. They deserved a draw at least, and the fact that they didn't get it, it's kind of sad. Eric Zavaleta played well. Another masterclass by Eric for his confidence, so that's good. But other than that, really, this was about Mexico. They were supposed to win this game, but they didn't. Or they did, but they didn't win it. When I say didn't, I mean they didn't win it as dominant as I expected or anybody expected. They still have a ways to go. And for their sake, they got to get the fire lit under their butts. And maybe they were waiting for the group stage to be over to start to push into overdrive. But at this point, you kind of had to. But you still got to first and a half gear. So there you go with that. So with that said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell all your friends. Monday, well, first off, go check out my Patreon. $5, $10, or $15. $5, $10, or $20 a month. Anything is appreciated. Help support the channel. You'll be awesome if you do. Go check it out. Also, on Monday, we have an off day. I get to rest a little bit. And then on Tuesday, I will be on, I think we talked about this, but I'll make sure, but we talked about this a little bit on that little live stream debate I was part of after it was over, but I should be on Ryan LFC's live for Jamaica, Costa Rica. I'll see what he says there, but I should be. I think I told him that I'd like to yes there, and he was fine with it when I told him that, so I'll check with him, but I should be on there. And then on my channel, I will be doing a Honduras, Qatar live and RSR. So 2 lives, 1 RSR on Tuesday, a guest, my own, and then the review. We're going to make that a day of trying to blow up a little bit, okay? And there you go. Tuesday's going to be a big day. So I do need the rest tomorrow. So thank you, CONCACAF, for the off day. So there you go. With that, I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. See you later.